Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and good morning. This is Laurie Smith, and this is One Child Abuse Survivor to Another, Restoration. And we're just doing a 15-minute show this morning. I'm just glad to be here, and I just appreciate everybody who's tuning into my shows. And as a survivor of abuse, I know it's difficult. It's a difficult walk, and there's some days that are better than others. There's some weeks that are better than others, and some months and years that are better than others. I just think it's just important to reach out and get help, and to take responsibility really for our healing journey. Because if we're going to make progress in our healing journey, we're ultimately the ones that have to be responsible for that. Nobody really can do that for me. So this is why I'm doing this show. I did an introduction show yesterday, just talking about why I'm doing this and why I decided to come back to Blog Talk Radio. I hadn't been doing very many shows here since 2013, about 3 years. And I've been doing a few other things elsewhere, like Spreaker and whatnot, but hadn't really done anything really for the last 3 years, just concentrating on working, concentrating on getting out of debt, concentrating on other things that sort of were taking priority at the time. And I didn't make really any progress in my healing journey, and sort of wasn't doing anything towards it. So that's why I thought, well, this show will be helpful for me because it'll hold me accountable so it's sort of a self-accountability thing. And I thought, I can share resources with people that I find that are interesting, what I'm looking at that helps me, things that I know that have helped me and that are helping me right now. And dealing with adult survivor, issues and recovering from abuse, right? So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'm not a therapist, not a counselor. I'm just a private citizen just doing this show because I just want to be here for like an encouragement for people to keep going. And it also encourages me at the same time, because in doing that, I have to keep going, right? I can't tell somebody else, keep going, keep reaching out, keep looking for help, and then not do it for myself, right? And so it does hold me accountable. It's a good tool for me to use. I don't have a lot of local support. I do have a husband who's very supportive, but he has never been abused. He doesn't know what I go through on a daily basis, he doesn't understand the serious dynamics, that are involved from growing up completely abused from birth. And so he just, he's very positive, and he's a great support for me, but he doesn't know what I've been through. So he can't relate to me on that level. So he doesn't understand the level of destruction. So this is good for me to be able to reach out, and it forces me to look at material and to look at my healing journey, see where I'm at. So this is why I'm doing this show, and so I appreciate everybody who's really going to take the time to listen to these. We'll probably do 15-minute shows or 30-minute shows. This one's set up for 15 minutes this morning, and I think I'll change them to 30 because 15 just doesn't give you enough time to look around, for me to sort of take a look at what I am doing. So I thought we'd look at a morning reflection this morning of how we're doing on our healing journey, how I'm doing. Any particular things that and you could do this for yourself. You could, if you're listening to this show and you're just listening to me babbling on, you could think about your own healing journey. How are you doing in your own healing journey? And are there any particular things that we need to work on? And how are we feeling? Right? How am I feeling this morning? Am I feeling safe? Am I feeling comfortable? Am I feeling uncomfortable? This morning I'm actually feeling like I usually do. And I would say that's a little discomfort. I normally wake up with a little bit of discomfort, not just physical, but just emotional. I don't sleep well at night because of the abuse. I don't sleep well. I've never slept well, even as a child or an adult. So I do have sleep deprivation problems. I've never really been able to relax at night and get a good sleep, even though I do sleep. I sleep about 5-6 hours, maybe 5 hours a night. And it's very interrupted and very disrupted sleep because I toss and turn, I dream, I have lots and lots of dreams. I'm very uncomfortable at night, and that's just from growing up abused by both my parents and my brother. So, and this is very sort of a horrific household. So I never really got any good sleep as a child, and so as an adult, I'm still dealing with that issue. So I generally wake up feeling kind of a little worn out already before the day even starts. And I don't take care of myself physically. So this is where we're going to go. How am I feeling? I do have work to do, and I'll probably say this on every show. I need to seriously settle in and do some work. But we need to make sure that we're safe. We're safe enough to, even for you, like I know I'm safe enough to listen to stuff like this and to talk about this, because I'm not going to self-injure from talking about this, and I'm not going to go and hurt somebody else or hurt myself or, lose sort of momentum in my healing journey. Because I'm working on this sort of thing. But you as a survivor, if you're a survivor of abuse, you need to make sure that you're safe enough to be doing this type of thing on your own. And if not, you need to get help, because you don't want to be triggered and then find that you can't cope, and then sort of spiral downward and backward in your healing journey. So you need to make sure that you're safe enough to be listening to something like this, safe enough to, in your own daily walk, are you safe enough? Are you going to self-injure? Are you going to, I'm not going to lie to you. There are days that I think about, that's why I'm doing this show, because it holds me very accountable. And I don't believe, that's why none of my stuff was a lie. And I've told my story, and I've been very, very honest about it all. And, there's days where I do want to self-injure. And I still contemplate suicide. But I know I'm strong enough that, it's a thought, but that's because I was thinking it for so long. It just became part of my thought processes. Like, it just became part of my daily thought life. Self-injury and self-loathing and suicidal ideation. And so do I still think about it? It does pop into my mind. Would I say daily? Sometimes it does. It depends on what's going on. I know lately, because I've been building this website to put all my stuff on there, which is, I just want it there because I don't want it to disappear, just in case when I do leave this earth, which won't be by suicide. I've already made my decision. I'm living until I don't live anymore. I'm not taking my life. I'm going to live. And so, but this website that I put together, Born in Hell, I just wanted to have all of my stuff there. It's one place for people to go and actually be able to just to get a hold of my material if they want to, instead of having to look in many different places. It's taken me 3 months to do this website, but it's also very triggering. So lately I have had a lot more to deal with than I normally would, because I'm actually looking at all this, stuff from the past and from the abuse. And so that's why this show is very helpful for me right now to do this show, and it very well might be why I started doing this show again. If I was to think carefully about it. That's probably the reason why I'm doing this, is because of all the work that I've been putting in on that for 3 months, over on 2.5 months anyway, on my website, Born in Hell, has really triggered me and caused me to think about my healing journey a little bit more than I was before. And so, it's important. We got to make sure we're safe enough to do this stuff in the first place. If you're not, turn my show off and go get help. I know, I've been there. I'm a survivor of horrific child abuse. I know what it's like. I spent my whole life with suicidal ideation from the age of about 10, and wanting to self-injure, So you need to make sure you're safe enough to even be listening to this before you join me on this journey. I would appreciate that. Get yourself some help, right? I looked at, years back, safety information from the ASCA, Adult Survivors of Child Abuse Survivor to Thriver Manual. And we went through that, and I spent weeks on that. And are we safe enough? So you need to make sure that you are. Positive reinforcement for this morning. What am I doing right in my daily walk? Looking at the positives and the progress instead of just negative thoughts. It's good to look at some of the other stuff too, not just being down on ourselves, but positive reinforcement. What am I doing right in my walk? First of all, I get up in the morning with the thought that, first of all, it's my victory because I'm still here. My parents couldn't kill me. My brother didn't kill me. The abuse didn't kill me. And the abuse wasn't just the abuse. This was my parents trying to kill me, as well as my brother could have killed me. I could have killed myself. I didn't take myself out. 2 of my brothers killed themselves. So every day that I wake up, for me, is a victory, in itself. I never thought I'd live to be this age. I just hit 50. I'm actually heading towards 51 here in a few months. I never thought I'd make it to live this long in the first place. I thought for sure something would take me out, or I would take me out. So that's my victory. Every day that I wake up, that's my message to you, as well. Make sure that you reach out and get help. That's what I did. back in 2009, really, I started reaching out and getting some help. And so 2009, 2016, that's 7 years really that I really started to reach out and look for help. And I really went anonymous because I didn't trust anybody. I still have trust issues. I don't trust very many people. Actually, almost don't trust anybody. There's only been a few people in my life that I actually found that I could trust. Some of them are my friends today, and I do trust them, but I don't trust very many people. So I reached out and did a lot of anonymous stuff, which was helpful. I also belong to another group, another support group, and so I just started belonging to this support group, so we've only had like one meeting, but I still do reach out as a survivor of abuse, and I'm not only reaching out for myself, but also to be an encouragement and support for others too, to make sure that we get help. We bolster ourselves up with people around us that can help us, and people that know what we've been through, and who are going to be a positive influence in our life, not a negative one, right? And so that's something positive that I've done recently. There's lots of things. There's things that I've done that are good. Just maintaining a good attitude. I don't let anger get the best of me. I don't let depression get the best of me. I keep reaching out for help. So I'd say that's my biggest positive, and I would wish that for you as well. So positive affirmation that I could look at here today would be like, I'm a good person. I am a good person. And if I really believe that, and I sit there and I say, I am a good person, that's really important. I could say that all day. If I don't believe it, then it's not going to make any difference to me. But I am a good person. What does that mean to us as survivors of abuse? Survivors of abuse, have been normally put through the ringer and told that they were no good or worthless or whatever, made to feel that they were lesser than. Right? That's how I grew up, and that I didn't count, that I didn't matter, and that I wasn't wanted. And so, and that I was just this really, horrible person. Even later in life, treated the same way by my adult siblings in their adult years because of the roles that we played. I did a lot of talking about that on One Child Abuse Survivor to Another back in 2010, 2011, looking at the roles that we play. So, do I wake up in the morning and think that I'm a good person? I am a good person. I can do good things for people. I can do good things for myself. I'm not a bad person. I'm not that person that they made me that they made me feel that I was so long ago, right? And we need to really. That's why I think I'll make this show a 30-minute show. I don't know why I did 15 minutes here, but I am a good person, and do I believe it? Sometimes, I think I'm a good person. I try to be a good person. And other times I think, no, I'm not really a good person. And my inner children, who are still dealing with a lot of this stuff that I'm still working with them on it, a lot of inner child work. I still have work to do because sometimes, they don't believe that, right? They were made to feel that they just didn't, that they were bad. They were bad and they were horrible. And they were no good, they were worthless, or whatever, whatever people have been through. We've all been through some horrific things if we're survivors of abuse. So it's absolutely horrific. We've got about 90 seconds here. I would say for self-care, if you're having, what are we doing physically, spiritually, emotionally to care for ourselves? What can we work on to help ourselves, Irving Studios has a great self-care section. That's Child Abuse Survivor Monument. And I'll just get you that. It's irvingstudios.com, Child Abuse Survivor Monument. And you can go there, and on the left-hand side, there's a whole bunch of information there for people. There's self-care. There's up at the top, there's the handprint campaign, which I turned a handprint in a long time ago. Monument, organization, participants, resources, self-care. Under the self-care tab, you've got a lot of stuff there for self-care. And there's well-being, creating coping lists, meditation gallery, handprints, and poetry. So if you were looking for something for creative, like coping lists and well-being and whatnot, in the meditation gallery, which is really awesome, I was looking at that yesterday, go to www.irvingstudios, IRVINGSTUDIOS.com, irvingstudios.com. Look under the Child Abuse Survivor Monument tab, and then go to self-care. And he's got some great info there. And so, well, we're going to wrap this show up. And, I would say, I wanted to sort of look at, a meditation for the day or a peaceful, a prayer or something that would strengthen us and energize us. And like I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to drag my Christianity into this show. But I would say I just pray to my Creator, and I ask my Creator, to continue to strengthen me, to continue to guide me, to continue to help me along this journey and along this path, as I know that my Creator has been doing this whole time. And so I would wish that for you as well. That our higher power, would give us the courage, first of all, to keep reaching out, and give us the strength to keep on going. And I wish you a wonderful day. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.